I'm going to show you our present boiler situation, and it's not good. I'm going to take you into what we call our boiler room. It's sort of like a bit of an underground sort of shed cave thing. Now there's no lights in here, and this room has basically been abandoned for 30 years. Now in the corner is an old 300 litre, what the French call ballon. It's a cylinder boiler, electric cylinder boiler. Now on the side of here used to be, between sort of here, used to be a chimney which went up through a hole in the ceiling there, and that used to be a wood boiler, but as you can see it's in a rather derelict state. And yeah, in there what we found was coal, wood and a load of dead skeletons. And I don't know if you can see it in the bottom, but the bottom is all totally rusted out, and that is our spring water well. And yeah, those pipes there, they were all leaking, and there was 6 or 8 inches of soil all up around the bottom of that boiler. And yeah, it was in rather terrible condition because all the pipes on the wall were leaking all over it and all sorts. So yeah, that is our current boiler situation. So yep, we needed to replace that very quickly. And this roof here sort of goes straight out into our garden. So as you can imagine, it basically radiates heat like you wouldn't believe, because yeah, that is the street outside, and the bottom of this door is all missing, so snow and all sorts blows underneath that door. So yeah, not exactly very thermally efficient. Now, last time I did a boiler was in England, and there's a type of boiler you can't get in France. They take huge amounts of energy basically, and I think they call them instantaneous heat boilers, and it was the one I fitted was 22 kilowatts, and I fitted 2 of them actually. It was in a gym, and there was one for the female changing rooms and one for the male changing rooms. And if I fitted one to this house, the old linking meter would go absolutely crazy, and well, it'd probably shut down the whole village actually, not just our house. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, it all went a bit wrong and leaked and stuff like that. So yeah, not gonna fit one of those types. But in France, you can basically get cylinder boilers, and you can get flat boilers. And the cylinder boiler, which was optimal for our house, was 300 litre, and the flat sort of boiler was, I think, 80 litres. So we got an 80 litre. Now you can get the optimal one. What we wanted was a titanium one, because they're like maintenance free, but basically none available, sort of like outside Paris basically. So we got a magnesium one, which is sort of, you have to replace the element on them sort of about every 3 to 5 years. So yeah, I'll show you what we got. Now you might be asking why we chose a wall-mounted flat heater rather than a big 300 litre cylinder heater. Now the reason is directly below our bathroom. Bless her. Now, if we had a big 300 litre boiler, where the hell are we going to put it, basically? There are several places in the house we could have put it, like below the stairs, in our spare room. I'll show a couple of places. But the pipe work basically would have gone all over the house. Absolutely sort of everywhere. And I don't know if you can see above me, there's all the rafters. They basically go the wrong direction everywhere. So they would have gone such a wonky route, it would have been unbelievable. And the floors in this house are 1 metre thick granite. So yeah, we would have to rip up all the tiles and everything. So, oh, hell of a job. So, oh, yeah, didn't want to play that game. So we went this route because I can just stuff the pipe straight up to the bathroom. straight up there through the ceiling to the room upstairs, bath, and it kept the pipe that direction really short because the bath, that thing upstairs uses quite a lot of the water, and the kitchen doesn't use much water at all, just a basin full of it. So, and I can just insulate those pipes really easy. And the other ones I can run a nice long pipe, and that's quite easy. Just go straight through the cave, and can insulate that. And the other pipe work really simple. Now this is our wall-mounted flat boiler. It's an 80 litre boiler, and if I go up, it is energy rating C, so not too bad. Sort of electric boiler there, sort of anywhere between sort of like 98 and 100% efficient, but because of cost of living and things like that these days, electric boiler is fairly expensive to run. But as you can see, we're going to get most of our heat from sort of rather large wood burning stoves, and that's our biggest one. And excuse all the junk, we've got some older sort of wood burning stoves in here for sort of various other ones. I think we've got 5 other ones as well. We've got a whole load of these cast iron radiators. I think they're probably from the 30s or 40s. I mean, this one's just a little titchy one. The biggest one we got is probably I don't know what, 4 feet tall and 5 feet long. Probably weighs, I don't know, 50, 60 stone or something like that. It's just totally impossible to lift. If we were using one of the 300 litre boilers, we could use these, but the boiler would have literally had to been running like 24/7 to have made it a possibility. I mean, they would have had to be all sandblasted and done with that sort of fire grating black to, you know, made look presentable. But yeah, but we're not. We use one of the 80 litre boilers, so these aren't an option really for us. I don't know if you see, but that's what it looks like with the front door open, and that is a really wide front door. That front door is 40.5 inches wide. So yeah, that is a really wide front door. And as you can see, pipes going straight up into the bathroom. Bless her. I haven't, as you can see, that white pipe is the pipe coming out the siphon, and I've got to connect that into the big grey pipe coming out. Yeah, so I've got a couple of jobs left to do. It's not completely connected up, so yeah, and so got a couple of jobs left to do, so she can have her bath, but she doesn't like my accent, does she? There we go. So I'll get her running sooner or later. Right, now we're going to go into Mandy's bathroom now. She's done a cracking job in here. Now, one option was to put it horizontally above the bath, and you can mount them on the wall quite high up, and the problem with that is obviously all the steam from the bath goes up, and we kind of have to box it in on the wall up there, and we thought it doesn't really look tremendously great. There's a nice view down there. Doesn't really look tremendously great on the wall above the bath, especially with like pipes going out, and you kind of have to hide them into the room next door, and not really superbly ideal. because we looked at the diagram on the box, and the pipes weren't coming out of that end, they were coming out of this end, which meant you would have to go through the wall and then down and back in this end. Not brilliant. So yeah, kind of ruled it out, and it meant that also the pipes were a little bit longer going to the kitchen, and they would have also been massively long going to the pizza bread oven when we do eventually get around to doing it. Now the next option was if we go into this room and mount it on the wall up there, in the corner up there, vertically. Again, you have to leave a gap above it this time, so you can get in to change the heater element every 3 to 5 years, and you have to leave a gap below it so you can get to the pipes. Again, not brilliant, because pipes wouldn't be massively long, gone dark. The next option would be to put a cylinder boiler in that corner of the room, run pipes into the bathroom. Cylinder boiler, this room's getting a bit small already. 300 litre cylinder boiler in here. Again, it's close to the bathroom, but a lot of pipe work going everywhere. And again, could have gone into, which is eventually going to be in our room, cylinder boiler in here, 300 litre. Cylinder boiler takes sort of quite a long time to warm up. Cylinder boiler on the floor here, and you've got 300 litres of water, always permanently being heated. Weren't too happy about that idea, so we thought, well, maybe we just have 80 litres of water being heated, and we just turn the dial and wait for the 45-50 minutes for it to heat up. And that was the other thing, if you got it up on the wall here, you kind of have to stand in the bath to turn the dial to heat it up, and we're both not that tall, and if you're standing in the bath to turn the dial, not a brilliant idea. Mandy's done a great job in here. In England, they have sort of grey plaster. In France, basically when we went in the shops, they looked at us a bit weird, and they have something called, I think it's called Platinum, and yeah, it's completely different. And this is basically what the plaster looked like when we moved in. I don't know if you see that, but it's a mistake. Yeah. Anyway, it goes on a bit like plaster of Paris, and you get about 3 minutes to put it on, and then you sand it. So all of this has been hand sanded. So yeah, it's a bit rusty, but yeah. And then all of this used to be wallpapered, and when you start pulling off the wallpaper, it pulled the plaster off in chunks. So yeah, the wallpaper was glued on, and it just ripped the wallpaper off, because basically this house has been abandoned for 30 years, and the plaster has a shelf life, and as soon as it gets a little bit damp, because all these windows were broken and some of them were left open, and as soon as the plaster gets damp, it detaches from the wall. So yeah, and this wall, she built this, so she had to put all this up, and this beam over the top, yeah, that is where the wall used to be, and she stripped that wall back, because that wall covered in plaster as well. She put Danish oil on that, and treating it all over, and that's been cut with an axe. So yeah, that's not sawn, it's 150 30 odd years ago, someone went out of the forest and cut that down with an axe and put that up. Yeah, that is cracking, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, done all that wall by herself. Put that up, filled it. Put that up, it's cracking, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, same again with the floor, she's done all that. And that there's where the soil pipe goes down through the loo. I've got to put another, that one there will join up to the bath, not finished that yet, and there'll be another one coming off the other side, going off to the sink and the shower. Got to do that. I've got to put a couple more brackets to hold those manifolds on. As you can see there, the four-way blue one's got to go have a little sort of stainless flexi one going off to the toilet. That one's missing another one at the moment. So yeah, they won't be so wonky once get some more of those. Once these are back in stock, get a little bit less wonky on the wall. So around the bottom of this wall, in line with the windowsill, there'll be wood panelling, and that'll go around the wall. And yeah, so that sink will get mounted on the wall. And then that shower tray be mounted about 2 or 3 inches up, so we can get the pipe work going into the wall next door. But that'll be an all-in-one shower unit, so the walls won't be tiled because there's sort of glass at the back and glass at the sides, sort of like white glass at the sides, and then there's a 8-jet multi-jet shower thing in the corner with a huge sort of chrome, sort of square chrome thing that sits on the top here. So yeah, just got that bargain cheap. Yeah, the original quote for the local guy in the village, he's still booked up into spring next year, so we couldn't even get a quote off of him. And the only bloke that was free enough to give us a quote was €12,500, and I think he the boiler, the shower, the bath and the sink and everything, I don't think we're even breaking the sort of about the €1,200 mark yet, so that's the pipe work and everything yet, so we're doing pretty good. Yeah, not bad, eh? Right, now we've got a couple of cord of wood stacked up here. Now we have about half an acre of forest, goes back quite a way. Now a lot of this is hazel. Now these hazel trees grow about 15 feet a year. Now we're going to replace quite a lot of this hazel with oak, chestnut, walnut, other trees. We're not that keen on hazel, so yeah, we're going to replace a lot of this with fruit trees and other stuff. There's going to be an orchard all along the back line, and in front of that is going to be what we call older, more mature trees. So we're going to get an awful lot of wood from this tree in the meantime. Now I don't know if you can see, we're clearing around our old well, and we're keeping all the leaves being mulched down to go on our vegetable beds. All the twigs are all being kept as kindling. They'll all get covered up in a couple of days when we've stripped all the leaves off and stuff like that, and all the logs are all going to be chopped down and stuff like that. So yeah, and yeah, we're slowly clearing all the woodland and stuff around our well, and that will all get dug and cleared out there. So all those trees and all of that, they're all come down, and there go to feed our fires and stuff like that. So when all the back line there, when that gets all filled in with apple, plum and all stuff like that, all those trees are going to feed our fires as well. Yeah, so yeah, all that wood is free heating for us as well. So, and all, as I say, all of this, all those trees all growing along there, all along the back of that, I think they called it a tang or pool in France. All of that was grass height early in the year, so you can see you get what, 15 feet, I suppose. What, that one at the back there is 20 feet tall. That's the growth you get in 10 months, 11 months in a year. So wood in France, that oak there, that's 500 years old. So yeah, that one isn't so young. And yeah, so some of them are quite old, but yeah. So we're going to be self-sustaining